Well, hey guys, this is Diamond from Diamond Shine Soap. I'm excited to see you today. Today we are going to make some winter body butter. But before we get into that, I want you guys to go ahead and like the channel, subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you do not miss what we will be doing on this channel. All right, guys, so we're going to get right into it. This entire recipe will be found in my Patreon, and that is also linked below, guys. There's so much in the Patreon, candle making recipes, skincare recipes. The Patreon is so full. All right, let's get right into it. So we're going to be doing like a gold, I call it the Gold Digger body butter, guys, and this is so pretty. All right, so we're going to be using this gold mica right here, and I will definitely leave the links in the Patreon for you guys to get the right mica powder. This is also like a bronze. It comes out really nice in soap and also in body butter. All right, and I also have like a different kind of gold, and this one is more like a sparkle gold, and this one also gives it like a nice radiant slash sparkle. Okay, so you're going to need a heat proof container, and let's get right into it. All right, so now when you get your heat proof container, guys, go ahead and grab your refined or unrefined shea butter. Honestly, it really just does not matter. All right, so put your shea butter inside your heat proof container. And as you put it in there, I know you're wondering why we're using so much shea butter. This is a winter butter, so it's normally a little bit thicker. And also, guys, the good thing about it is this is not an emulsified butter, so it's very easy to make. All right, so add you some grapeseed oil, safflower oil, whatever lightweight oil that you have for this particular recipe. You can definitely change up the oils. Just keep them within the same amounts and percentages. All right, so I use a little bit of safflower oil and also a little bit of coconut oil. Now this coconut oil was already melted down. I had it just sitting underneath my shelf, and it's pretty hot in this room. So you want to take all of this, and then guess what you're going to do? You're going to melt this down, and once you melt it down, it will look like this. Now guys, it's a little bit hot, so that's why I set it down. It's very hot to work with. So when it's hot like this, you don't want to add your vitamin E, and you definitely don't want to add any fragrance. So we're going to let it cool down, and then we are going to begin to add our fragrance and our vitamin E to this oil. All right, so now we have the right temperature, guys, and guess what? I am going to add some fragrance. Now, for this particular recipe, I wanted to use like a cocoa butter cashmere type of fragrance. Black coconut cashmere. Those are like my two fragrances that I like to use for women's butter, because it's actually a really good seller. If you ask anybody, their top sellers, they will definitely say cocoa butter cashmere, hands down, and for the men, mahogany teakwood. This is arrowroot powder. Arrowroot powder is going to absorb all of the greasy feeling. I would never make a body butter without arrowroot powder because I cannot stand a greasy butter. I love my butters to be very fast when it comes down to the absorption rate, and that is the reason why we're using it. Now listen, if you don't have arrowroot powder, guys, now you can buy it from the supermarket. It's very easy to find. You don't have to get it off of Amazon. You can very well use cornstarch. Cornstarch is just as good as arrowroot powder. Once you get your arrowroot powder into your heat proof container, guys, go ahead and just give it a nice stir. And you want to just stir it until you see it fully dissolve, okay? And this might just take some time. To make it a little bit easier, what I normally do is I pull out my whisk or I pull out a hand blender and I go to work. Once you get everything evenly combined, guys, go ahead and toss this baby into the freezer. As you guys can see, my butter has reached the perfect temperature, and now I can go ahead and whip it up and turn it into some nice body butter. Okay guys, so now for the color, I'm using a little bit of my bronze. Also, I'm using a little bit of my King's Gold. And on top of that, I am using a little bit of my Sparkle Gold. Now, when it comes down to this body butter, it definitely will not come out the color that you actually see going into there. But we're going to get it as close as possible to this gold. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of carrier oil to make it easier to go into the butter without having clumps and specks of the mica powder in our body butter, okay? All right, so I'm adding it, and then I'm going to do a mixeroo, guys, and I'm just basically getting as close as I can to that gold. And with that being said, I added a little bit more mica powder, and after that I didn't add any more. I just left it at the color that it came out to be. So now we're going to go ahead and add our butter to a piping bag, because it just keeps things a little bit more clean when you are adding it into your jars. And today I am going to use some double-walled white jars. Normally I typically go for a clear jar, but in this particular case I wanted to use the double-walled jar because this is a thicker butter and I wanted to offer it as a winter butter, okay? So adding a little bit of mica powder to the bottom of the jar will just give it that golden look, okay? So as your customer gets deeper into the butter, closer to the bottom, you know, at least they'll be able to still pick up that gold on their fingers, okay? So just take it and move it all around, okay? And you're gonna have a little bit left over, and that is completely fine because you're gonna take that and put that back into your jar. All right, so guys, just go ahead and pipe into your jar, making just a small layer. Don't fill it all the way up yet, because you want to save a little bit of space for what we're going to do to the top, okay? So grab you a little bit of that gold mica, put it on a spoon, sprinkle it all around, and then after you finish doing that, you're just going to kind of shake the jar just to get it all over the top, okay? As you guys can see, it is spread it perfectly. Now we're going to add that last layer to the top. Bang it down, and then grab your spoon, and as you can see, sprinkle it all around. Now the trick with the top layer, guys, to get it to look the way mine's did, was I took them outside after I added the mica all around the top. I blew them off, okay? So I just pretty much just took a deep breath and blew the top, and it actually made it look so pretty. Now some people have, like, these bottles or containers with pumps where they're able to kind of dust the top. Those are really nice to have. I didn't have one, so I just used what I had. Okay, so now you can see that it is nice and radiant and gold. It looks so gold diggerish. It's so pretty, guys. I have to do a demo. Now, when it comes down to this butter, a little goes a long way, okay? So if you put this gold on the top, you're going to take a little bit off the top, okay? And just, rub your finger on it. Put it in a small area and just rub. And as you guys can see, it's fast absorbent. It does not leave any grease residue. And because the gold completely dries to the skin, it will not come off on your clothes or your garments. And it came out pretty good, guys. Very nice. Okay, now guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and again, the entire recipe will be found in my Patreon along with so many other recipes. I will see you guys again soon.